bottom of the hour, time to visit with our good friend Brian Duffy, creator of some of the most funny cartoons, the funniest cartoons we've seen in a long time, because they make you think, and I think that's the key.
Well, that's it. Yeah, that's the biggest thing about an editorial cartoon, is that you want people to think about what you're saying, whether they agree with you or not. They're thinking about the subject. Okay. And that's what I try and do. And over the past couple of weeks, we've been showing folks how he comes up with some of the creations, some of the political... The caricatures, yes. And there's just too many out there right now. I mean, it's like we have 99 counties in this state, and I got a feeling that we're going to meet that as far as candidates. One for every county. Yes, the way it's going, yes. So, and you know, it's difficult for me to keep up with these people, because it's like, you know, I'm ready to caricature somebody this week that I should have done 2 weeks prior, but another 2 of them come into the race. So it's like I'm trying to catch up. They're not spraying for them. They should be doing something. They should be spraying for them, right? And besides that, if I had my way, I'd be drawing Donald Trump the entire time. You know, every single week he's a lot of fun to do, and besides that, he's always in the news now.
Yeah, he is here recently, but we've had some new candidates make their way.
Yes, we have. We've had. I like your creation here. This is your latest one. That's pretty cool. Well, yeah. So that people can figure out what I'm doing here. So we've got the Great Day, and we have my name and Hamilton Law Firm, the sponsor. There you go. So let's get into it. What are we drawing? We're going to be doing somebody that should have been done a long time ago. Doing a catch up. And that's Raphael, better known as Ted Cruz. So. He's the senator from Texas, running for president. I think he was one of the first ones to announce. He had been covering Iowa, been in the state quite a bit over the last time. So where do you start with somebody like him? Well, he has this widow peak, and I always start with that. And he has his he has a rather slick back hairstyle. So that's the first thing that I usually work on. It is a little slick now that you mention it. He's going to be an interesting one. I think he was in Iowa this week too. I think he was. He's a first termer, which doesn't really, neither here nor there, because Barack Obama was a first termer too. The difference is, I think, in some aspects is, well, number one, he's missed probably more votes than anybody, with the exception of, I believe it's. One of the other candidates, and I can't remember his name. Marco Rubio? I think it's Rubio. Yeah. I remember you talking about that. And that was family, family concerns, whatever. But he was the one that really instigated and pushed for the government shutdown back in 2013 over Obamacare. Right. Now, the amazing thing is, now that neither he nor his wife are employed, guess where they get their insurance from?
Well, they just don't want to pay the fine.
Oh, is that it?
Oh, must be.
Well, he never said that. He just said that he was going to be signing up for it. So. Defined chin. Yes, defined chin. On him, it's the eyes are. It's almost like he's wearing makeup. The outside of them are very... A little bit of guy liner? Yeah, I think so. You think? Just a little bit that kind of stands out. Almost looks like, I don't know if it's Keith Richards from the 70s. I almost see Nixon there a little bit. Yeah, with the hairline, yeah. Well, that's what a lot of people have said. That he looks like in either Nixon or Senator Joe McCarthy. Or he's morphing into those, one of the two, yeah. Well, that's a nice thing, is that you can morph these people into those. And you can change their faces around just enough to give that subtle idea that it's going in that direction. So, watching the news for you, anytime some new major figure comes on the scene, I imagine you're sitting there trying to figure out how you're going to draw that person. Exactly. And my mind is on a two-track rail line, if you will. I'm looking at how I'm going to draw the person, but I'm also listening to what they're saying. So I'm trying to figure out, what they really stand for, right, and their positions. But I'm also looking at their face, at their characteristics, what their mannerisms are, and those things can all come out in a caricature. What's the hardest part of the face typically to draw? It depends upon the individual. It really does. And if it's, I would have to say that it's really individual. There are some that stand out more than others, where their nose is something that's unique, or whether it's their lips, ears. Ears are one of my favorites. So all of those things are taken into consideration when I come up with the caricature. And usually the first couple of times that I draw somebody, it'll look exactly like the individual, and the caricature comes later on after practice. And so I'll work on that until I can start to stretch out various features.
And so that's what you do. You find a feature and then you just exaggerate it.
And you exaggerate it to as far as you want to go on it. But you still have to have it, there still has to be enough realism to it so that people can understand or figure out who the person is.
Right. Yeah,
But he's probably another one that I would have to put in the category of no chance of being elected.
So you only have to learn how to draw him for a little while.
Well, but he keeps on popping up, so I got a feeling that he's not done. But I don't think that. I think his brand of conservatism will work in Iowa, but past that, I don't see him getting very far. And I don't know where he's going to get his funding from either. When you've got some of these candidates that are wandering around now with upwards of $60 to $70 million already. Should put quickly put his always wears cowboy boots. Anybody from Texas, whether that's George W. or whomever, always has to have a pair of cowboy boots on.
Or high heels.
Yeah. Or high heels, yes. And the interesting thing about him, too,
That was
also.
J. Edgar Hoover.
Yeah, well, that came out afterwards. He has in his office. He has a large oil painting of himself at the Supreme Court, and he had spoken to the Supreme Court, I think, 4 times. So there's this gigantic oil painting of him talking all 4 times. Now, that's a little on the unique side.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you have one of those in your office?
No, I don't.
His is charcoal.
I do. Mine's charcoal. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I've lived in Iowa so long that I don't have that ego about it. But Ted Cruz.
Nice.
There you have it. Here's another one. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
There it is. So again, every week we're going to show you how he comes up with some of these other ones. It almost has like a Conan O'Brien-esque to it, too.
A little. I can see
with
that.
the hair, yeah.
Oh, Conan O'Brien be about 4 feet
4
higher.
feet, yeah, the hair will be